Hello everyone, my name is Thien, and today I will present about the case should company embrace the social business, which is included in the chapter 2. I decided to make my presentation, split my presentation into two parts. The first part will be summary, why so many companies today using the internal social network to communicate with their employees. And the second part, I will discuss more about the question that the case want me to answer. Yeah, so let's get into the first part, the summary of the case. Like internal social network like Lindsay or Facebook, exaggerate. These tools can promote employee collaboration and knowledge sharing that help employees make faster decisions and develop more creative ideas, product, and service, and become more involved in their work in company. So internal social network is used to solve the problem of the amount of emails that employees often receive each day and are increasingly unable to handle them. So you know that hundreds of emails have to be opened, read, answered, forwarded, or deleted. And the problem is application fatigue. So when to collaborate, many employees have to log into many accounts and create more work. But however, not all companies use the internal social network successfully. So enterprise social network implementation and adoption are not only dependent on the capability of the technology, but also on the culture of the organizations and on the compatibility of these tools with the company business process. So if one company wants to successfully apply the internal social network of a company, it is necessary to first shift in mindsets, including the ability to view the organization more democratically in a flatter and more horizontal direction. Second, social enterprises are much more open to people's ideas. Third, getting people to use social business tools requires a more pull approach, one that attracts workers and provide them with significantly better way of doing things. And finally, in most cases, they can be forced to use social business app. For example, the reason why I say that is because a large number of employees will be resistant to new tools. So they prefer to stick to the old way of working, including email, as the methods are more familiar and comfortable. However, adopting internal social network can also have immeasurable consequences. Productivity and morale will decrease if employees use internal social media to criticize others or persuade other programs. Personal agendas due to employees who actively use Facebook and Twitter in their personal life are often hesitant to use similar social tools for work purpose because they see that social media primarily as a confident means of an or informal personal communication with friends and family. Therefore, employees who are familiar with Facebook, Twitter may find it difficult to imagine how they can use the social tool without personalization. This means that instead of focusing on technology, business should first identify how social initiative will actually improve the way employee works and manage. They need a detailed understanding of social media, how people are working now, who they are working with, what their needs are and measure to overcome employee bias and resistance. In addition, managers need to demonstrate their commitment to a more open, transparent work style. Employees who are accustomed to operating and doing business in more traditional way should be encouraged to use social software. In short, management needs to ensure that the company internal and external social media efforts are delivering true value to the business. Online content should be relevant, up-to-date, and easily accessible. To be able to connect with people who have the information they need, and otherwise it would be difficult or inaccessible. Social business tools should be relevant to the organization, ongoing tasks, and business process, and users need to understand how and why to use them. So, next, I will provide you guys with some specific evidence that I found on the case. The evidence of successful application. First, Covestro, which is a leading global supplier of coating and adhesives and high-impact design. So, before adopting the internal social network, Covestro used a reverse mentoring program for senior executives and training employee professionals to spread the know-how of new approach and social tools in the company and demonstrate their usefulness. The internal social network they use is IPM connection. The success which IBM connection brings to the organizations, which is 50% of employees are currently active in the company corporate social network, while return on investment for social entrepreneurship initiative is difficult to measure. Covestro had benefited from a faster flow of knowledge, increased efficiency, and lower operating costs. Class, and the second evidence example I want to provide for you guys is Class, an online clothing, accessory, and home decoration retailer. The internal social network they are using now is Yammer. The success that Yammer brings to the company is that Yammer has provided very helpful in connecting people and ideas, significantly saving workload time and money, helping save team from copying work already done, which is already done. For example, Class user experience team has begun designing a research campaign to find out what users want in mobile app for the companies, posting news about the project for Yammer. Within an hour, a member of Class social group posted the result of a larger user survey of mobile expectation, including a detailed spreadsheet with get feedback data. The item is had completed. The user experience team was able to save 2 weeks of work. The finally successful application here is Escort, which is headquartered in Hong Kong. The internal social network they are using, also Microsoft Yammer. The success is Escort staff communicate in many different languages, so they especially appreciate Yammer translation skill. Ideas supported on Yammer are used to improve Escort quality control workflow. Instead of using a ruler to make sure that the sleeve and the collar match the number of a clothes, a staff member in the quality control department used Yammer to get the idea of a ruler. Yammer also helped Escort to replicate innovative solutions and drive efficiency across the company. Traditionally, an innovation at one location has not been rolled out to other locations. Yammer provides a new feed of innovation and better practice to spread more easily across the organization. However, there are still many companies fail in using internal social network. For example, NASA got the Space Flight Center. They use Facebook as their tool for internal social network. The cost of failure is because nobody knows how is social tool will help people get their job done. The playbook was designed and developed without taking into account about the culture and politics of the organization. And this is not an isolated phenomenon. Okay, let's get into the first question of this case, 213. Identify the management, organization, and technology factor affecting adoption of internal corporate social network. So my answer is that the company's slow adoption on corporate social network was due to the lack of acceptance for change by employees. Employees are accustomed to conducting business the traditional way, and changing can be difficult for them. Employees instead continue to send email rather than learn new software. Some employees may also think that social media is not essential to their work and would not want to change without any incentive. So, employee lack of knowledge or dislike to learn new technology system has hindered their ability to want to change, or because software designer also designer and develop the system regardless of culture and organizational politics and feature employee unmatched overexposure. So let's get to the second question, 214. Compare the experience implementing internal social network of the organization described in this case. Why were some successful? What role did management play in this process? Most companies they have successfully implemented internal social network have seen a significant increase in response between employee, company executive, and other organizations in a very short period of time. Working together to discuss corporate update has become easier through this system without having to miss airware. When employees use the software, they find that their work efficiency increase, make it so that the system can alert them through software or text message sent to employee to notify them of any warning or allow them to respond on the software via text, email, along with other features. Enterprise that have implemented an internal social network not only used to connect within the company, but also with external partners, customer, and supplier. The roles management play in this process is identify how social initiative will actually improve work practice for employee and manager, give a detailed understanding of social network, how people are currently working, with whom they are working, what their needs are, and measures for overcoming employee bias and resistance. So we have come to the last question of this game, 250. Should all companies implement internal enterprise social network? Why or why not? My answer is that yes. I think companies should adopt intranet because it increases the ability to communicate efficiency and result within the company in a very small amount of time. Having a social network within a company also connect other parties from outside the company for stronger communication. It also reflects other social media used by employees outside of work. Company should implement social media in business because that is how today's generation work. Social media keep us running efficiently and in the right direction. It is the fastest way for them to update and communicate in a short amount of time and receive feedback. So that is the end of my presentation. If you guys have any questions, please send me for in email. I have put my email below, at the final slide. Yeah, thank you again for listening to my presentation. Goodbye.